What's going on, guys? Asher with Hidden Profits Crypto here. Before we get into today's video, as usual, I want to give a huge thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel. We're closing in on 3,000 subscribers. You guys are showing a lot of support and I really appreciate it. Welcome to all the new subscribers. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure to do so. We upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We show a lot of low cap altcoins, hidden gems, and other great projects. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, guys, so after a little bit of a holiday break, which was very much needed, we are back at it. So today we're going to be taking a first look at a project that I just recently found. This project is DeFimons, or I don't know how else you would pronounce it. I'm just assuming it's DeFimons. Now, I found this project because I have recently got into DeFi Kingdoms. If you guys haven't checked that video out that I put out a week or so ago, I'll throw a card up. You guys can just click on it, go check it out. But this is going to be something that's a little similar. I'm trying to get into the whole DeFi crypto gaming kind of sphere because I think there's a lot of potential there, not only to just have fun with some games, but also make some good profit. So this one is a little bit of a newer project, and I think it's very, very low key. I don't think a lot of people know about it yet. So I figured today we will take a look at it. I'll bring it to your guys' attention. We have a bit of information to go over. As I said, it is still very new. So the ideas aren't completely fleshed out, but we'll talk about that as we get to it. Anyways, without too much, let's go ahead and just get into it. All right, so here we are at their Twitter, at the DeFimons. So here you can see Sloth. This is going to be the currency that's going to be used. And I'll take a look at Sloth. Sloth is or SlothFi. It's kind of its whole entire own thing. And I don't want to go too far into that. But this is a project from the SlothFi team. So this is going to be a open world multiplayer RPG, a decentralized exchange, and much more. So the DEX is going to be built into the game. Same with like DeFi Kingdoms. But this one's definitely a more of a Pokemon vibe, or an old Japanese, you know, kind of pixel art game. So it kind of gives me those old vibes from playing Pokemon back in the day when I was a kid. So of course, you know, I'm gonna love this. So we'll just quickly go down here through the Twitter, because I think there's some good things that they've put out recently. You can see this is gonna be the hospital. So the players, you know, kind of like how in Pokemon, you have to visit the hospital to buy health packs, restore the health of your DeFimons. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, but I hope I'm not butchering it the entire video. But you can see here the health packs are useful to restore the health during battle. In case they lose all the health, you'll have to take them to the hospital, get them restored, kind of similar to Pokemon. And I know some people might be like, oh, come on, they're just ripping Pokemon off. I wouldn't say so. I think they're using it kind of as like a base idea to build off of. And I'm sure, you know, they've been adding kind of their own style with this. I mean, it is that style, but it's different. And that's okay. It's okay to pull inspiration from things. I don't think that that's an issue. So, you know, they did some giveaways, stuff like that. Here you can see presenting the fruit market. Players can visit the fruit market to buy fruits and power-ups for their DeFimon. So you can see that. It looks pretty nice. I know they've been working on the map. We do have a little bit of a kind of alpha game that we're going to look at here too. So one aspect of our open world is housing. So 4 different types of housing is presented in the game. 1 BHK, 2 BHK, luxury 2 BHK, and Japanese homes. I don't know. I'm assuming 2-bedroom house or something like that. So what kind of house is your player going to live in? So you can see here, these are going to be like kind of the layouts that you're going to be able to get. Now I'm assuming, obviously, these are probably going to be NFTs that you'll be able to get. So there's a thread here with a little more information. You guys want to check that out too. I would do that. Let's go down here a little bit more. So you can see here, this is the crow. This is one of the little characters, the little squid guy. And they're very basic, you know. I'm not going to try to act like it's anything crazy or anything special. But I definitely think that they have a little something going here. Like I said, it'll take time for them to kind of flush out their ideas, but the team seems like they have a lot of good ideas to bring. This is kind of the new design of the map they're looking at doing. So that's cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it here on the Twitter. So make sure to go through and check everything out on here if you guys would like to, and follow them so you guys can keep up to date. As always, you should always do that anyways. And their link to the Discord, you guys can go ahead and hop in there and ask some questions or whatever you might want to do. So yeah, check that out. But we're going to go ahead and head over to a little article, and we're going to check this out a little bit more. So actually, I decided we'll just go ahead and take a look quickly here at the game. So here is, this is beta.defimons.com. This is the link here on the Twitter right here. So this is basically the little alpha that you can play, and you can walk around and do all that. Now, I'll just kind of take a second to walk around here. We'll go down here. So this is basically where you just spawn in at. There's nothing really here to do yet, but you can see very, very much like Pokemon. And they did say that this is basically just like a placeholder kind of map that they designed. And like I showed, that other map will be the one that they're probably going to go with, but they are going to be changing it as it goes. So I guess there's nothing over there. I wouldn't expect, it to look like this. But there, there's some more area up there. You can change your name. It is multiplayer, so sometimes you'll hop in here and there'll be some other people. So very, very bare bones, very basic, but I think it gives the idea of kind of what you're looking at. So you're going to be able to kind of walk around and walk into the grass like you would Pokemon and catch the little creatures and do all that. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot here. Like I said, nothing groundbreaking yet, but I haven't really seen this in crypto yet. So it's definitely cool to see. And as somebody who loves Pokemon, I'm with this. I think this is really cool. So yeah, I just figured we would just quickly take a look at it because there's not a ton here. You can't go in really any of the buildings yet. There's like the little health center down here or whatever. But yeah, so, you guys can check it out and walk around and see if you can find maybe any secrets or anything. I noticed this little weird looking hatch looking thing down there. I don't know what that's about down here. So maybe there's some secrets hidden in this map that you might find or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's basically it. You can see it's the alpha version 0.0.2. So very, very, very early. But yeah, so let's head over to the article, like I originally said we were going to do, and we'll just kind of take a dive into this and see what they have to offer. All right, so here we are on the SlothFi Medium. This is one of the articles. This is introducing DeFimons. So the last few days at SlothFi have been nothing less than exciting. We've announced our upcoming MMORPG called DeFimons. In the article, we'll try to discuss what DeFimons is and what it means for our roadmap and for our token. So like I said, Sloth will be the currency that will kind of power this game, which is... I'll probably talk about that more in SlothFi's video, because I will do kind of a little separate video for that anyways. But that is going to be an IDO on Artemis Launchpad, which is a Harmony Launchpad. So you guys can hop in the Discord and ask questions about that if you're interested. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So what is DeFimons? DeFimons is a cross-chain NFT-based MMORPG where players can buy, sell, and auction their DeFimons NFTs, fight wild DeFimons and tame them, fight with other players in DeFimon tournaments. But what actually is a DeFimon? DeFimon is nothing more than a simple animal taken from the real world. Why the origins of powers is currently unknown. Each DeFimon possesses 2 special attacks and 2 special defenses, along with a normal attack and a normal defense. Out of the 2 special attacks and defenses, 1 attack and 1 defense is carried through a DeFimon's life. This means any upgrade that the DeFimon might have won't have any effect on that special attack or special defense. Taking an example of our friend Monkey, this guy right here, a monkey might upgrade to a gorilla at level 25. The monkey originally had 2 attacks, banana attack and chest beat. Once a monkey upgrades to a gorilla, it might lose its banana attack ability and gain a new one, but the chest beat ability will still be present in the gorilla as well. But what's the story behind DeFimons? Again, hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly. If I'm not, I'm very sorry, but that was the only thing I could come to conclusion, and it sounded the best. So as humans, we've been improving our lifestyle and standards of living for the past thousands of years. This improvement came at the cost of the wild animals. We destroyed their natural habitats, killed them, and whatnot. That is true, and I'm really not a big fan of that. DeFimons strive to be a game that sends this message and what happens when things go wrong. The game will have 2 worlds, one launched in the Harmony protocol, and the other is to be announced. These 2 worlds will have extreme contrast. Both worlds will spread over multiple cities. The western lands present on Harmony Protocol will represent a harmonious world where humans and animals live peacefully without interrupting each other. Humans live in small towns separated by forests, while animals live in the forest. Both rarely encounter each other. The winter lands present on another blockchain will represent a world where humans tried to take over and failed. Even huge military tanks, cars, and whatnot wasn't enough in front of the might of the DeFimons. So they're kind of taking elements here from DeFi Kingdoms. So DeFi Kingdoms is kind of they have a avalanche blockchain expansion for their game. So they're kind of using that, like spreading across different blockchains for different worlds and different maps and different content. So I like that. I think that's a really good strategy to kind of bring content into a game with different expansions, being the different blockchains. I really like that. So the DeFimons, they will be divided into generations. You'll have generation 0 and generation 1 will be minted on Harmony Protocol. These two generations will have 3 types, which will be air, water, and land. So Gen 2 and 3 will be minted on another blockchain. These two generations will have 3 types, which will be ice, apocalyptic, and electric. I will say apocalyptic, it sounds cool. It's also very odd for a type, but nonetheless, I kind of like it. Each generation will have 33 DeFimons, although wilder lands might contain more rare DeFimons. More information about DeFimons will be released once our wiki goes live. Wilder lands. Did I pronounce that wrong up here? Nope, I didn't. So that's different. So what this means for SlothFi, the roadmap will take a lot of changes. We have decided to scratch 2 of our projects called Avocado NFT Marketplace and Lazy Bones Research Tool. These 2 projects will become part of the game and will be released later. The 3rd project, Avocado Plus, will exist as a different entity. The name will be changed to Avocado. So then they talk a little bit more about with the sloth token and how that's going to be involved. Like I said, I'll make a separate video on the whole SlothFi project, but we have another article I want to take a look at. So this here shows open world multiplayer RPG NFT pets with attributes. So this goes a little bit more in depth, kind of how things are going to work. So DeFimons is a cross-chain NFT-based MMO RPG with pets. Each DeFimon NFT used in the game will have randomized attributes. Players can fight with wild DeFimons and capture them, or participate in PvP DeFimon tournaments. Players can roam around with other players and check out the mysteries hidden in the deep ends of the Western lands. So Phase 1 Generation 0 DeFimons. There will be 100 Gen 0 DeFimons, which players will be able to mint using our platform launch on Avocado Plus, which is the thing that they just mentioned, which is the NFT launchpad. So each player will be allowed to mint 1 Gen 0 DeFimon. At the end of Phase 1, a player will be able to use a web app to mint a DeFimon, view their DeFimons in the browser, trade their pets with other players of the game. Players will be able to roam around the map and enter buildings as well. So introduction to the following buildings. Homes, which allow the players to change their nickname. So that's cool. Kind of shows here, the map that I showed you guys earlier. So you can see there is another guy in there. Now it is available on mobile. So if you're on mobile, go ahead and click that link, and then you have like a little joystick thing that you can walk yourself around. So that's cool that they're keeping the mobile people involved. I think that's gonna help a lot for people who might not have a PC to play things on. So Phase 2, buildings and lore. This phase will be mainly focused around building the lore around the game. We'll be working on building a wiki for information about all the DeFimons, their abilities, and their upgrades. Introduction to the following buildings. So there will be banks where players can create LPs, trade different tokens, basically a decentralized exchange. There's going to be a pet store, which will be the where you can buy and sell the DeFimons. And then the auction house, which will allow players to put their DeFimons up for auction. So that's great. That is one thing that I kind of wish that DeFi Kingdoms had. It was an auction house. I feel like that'd be cool. But so Phase 3, the wilderness. So players will be able to go into the wilderness and fight DeFimons and capture them. Players then have the chance to keep the new DeFimons and use them to fight more wild ones or sell it on the marketplace. All the wild DeFimons with their attributes will be generated on the spot and minted if the player is able to defeat them. So, you know, imagine you're playing Pokemon and you throw a Pokeball, and then, you know, once you capture them, now you have that Pokemon, but here it's basically you're minting that specific DeFimon, and then the attributes will just be generated right there. So, you know, it's pretty cool. Players will be able to buy health packs and stamina packs to keep their DeFimon fit and healthy. Introduction of the following buildings. So there will be a health store, which will allow the player to buy health packs and stamina packs. We talked about that. And then a shopping center, which will allow the players to buy new outfits for their character. So something I also just want to quickly mention, I was talking to Ghosty, which is he's like the admin or whatever. And he said that for the IDO, they're going to be giving out some rare outfits for people that participate in the IDO. So if you're interested in that and you want more details, like I said, hop in the Discord and just go ahead and ask. But phase 4 integrations. Phase 4 of the game development will mainly focus on partnerships and getting other projects to have specific buildings on the map. Plan to extend to 5 maps. So there's currently 2, and add a lot more spaces for players to roam around. This phase will also introduce smaller games into the system, such as a wishing well or a lottery system, and much more. So introduction of the following buildings: wishing well, lottery system, the Lazy Bones Research Center, which allows players to research about different tokens present on Harmony, view their charts, and much more. So kind of like a KuCoin or a Dex tool, something like that. And then cafe, a place for players to hang out. So, you know, a little socialization there is never bad. Phase 5, PvP battles. So players will be able to participate in PvP competitions and put their DeFimon against other players. PvP competitions will allow players to win huge prizes and sloth tokens. This project will be part of the SlothFi ecosystem and will deeply integrate with our other projects. While our developers are busy working on other projects, we need grants to support payments for new developers, designers, storytellers, and animators we hire specifically for building this game. So then the DeFi Arena, which will be the place to participate in PvP competitions. So, you know, they have a funding proposal. They're asking for about 50,000 won as initial capital to hire the developers and everything that they need. But we'll just go ahead and, you know, he's got something here about the IP infringement. So I guess we'll just go ahead and read about this, because I know some people will probably like, hey, they're just ripping off Pokemon. So the map, you should consider the current map as a placeholder. This is just a showcase of what we're trying to build. We are hiring our own artists to design a map with a different vibe, a different lore, different character designs. The DeFimons, our designers, are working on the DeFimon in such a way that we will have our own original designs for our pets, all original powers. Once we finish the gameplay design, you will notice that it has all original gameplay design and how the game actually works. And then the storytelling. We're currently in the early stages of the development for our game and taking help from every designer and storyteller in making an original game, which gives you nostalgia, but also a fresh feel of a game made in 21 or 2022. So while the idea seems quite similar to existing IPs, and we know what those are, they are trying to add their own flavor and add their own, you know, little thing going on. So yeah, I wouldn't really be too worried about that. So talking about the lore, here's something we originally had in mind while we started design and development. We would continue working on these ideas. So like they said, the game will have 2 different worlds spreading across the multiple maps. The first world is where humans and the animals live peacefully in their own places, where the animals live in the wild. Here is where they'll introduce the Gen 0 and Gen 1 DeFimons, and those will have the the types land, water, and air, which we talked about. And then the second world, where the humans and animals have already got involved before the players have arrived, and their interactions have led to the world getting destroyed, broken cars, military tanks everywhere. So basically an apocalyptic city where there was just basically a war between the humans and the DeFimons. I actually kind of really like that. It's different. It's a different take, because I do think that there are, you know, if you think in Pokemon, imagine that you're just a little human and you're trying to like capture a Rayquaza, you know, giant dragon. He might not be so okay with you trying to capture him, you know. He might start going wild and tearing everything up. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, they said the Gen 2 and Gen 3 DeFimon, those types would be ice, apocalyptic, and electric. So the main goal of the game is to showcase how as humans we barge into homes of these wild animals and take everything away. and I love animals, so I 100% agree. So as mentioned above, the current map is a placeholder. So I showed you guys this. This is the first world. It'll have 2 to 3 cities, small town, a village, lots of grasslands in between. And here's some progress. So they're going for that 90s Japan vibe for the first world, which I totally dig. I think it looks great. You know, it still keeps that same aesthetic, but it's different, and that's okay. So the mechanics of the user movements will remain the same. Maybe we'll be able to add 1 or 2 more buttons for interactions and sprint. The map, however, will be changed. We had to use an open source map just to build the prototype fast. We're currently in the phase of development of the city. Village Dynamics new maps will be moved to the alpha release within the first 2 weeks of 2022. So here's one of the 4th DeFimon, the little squid guy. He looks cool. Here's another picture of the city in development. Again, I'm digging it. It looks cool. And that's basically it there. So that should give you a basic idea of what we're looking at. Now, the last thing I want to take a look at is this right here. This is kind of their little table of the current DeFimon that they have planned. You can see here the name, what kind. So, you know, you got the armadillo, land type, generation 0, evolves from and to nothing yet. And then, you know, it has how many evolves that it has. So I guess we'll take example here, you know, with the crow. So you got the crow, it's an air type, Gen 0. So it's the base DeFimon, and then that evolves into a fiery crow. And then if we look at the fiery crow, wherever it is, here you can see it evolves from the crow, and then it evolves into a 3-eyed raven. So that's just kind of gives you a little bit of an example. You know, you got a puppy, the puppy evolves into a German Shepherd, the German Shepherd turns into a direwolf. I don't know about the baby goat one. You know, it turns into a goat and then a chupacabra. I'm pretty sure chupacabras eat goats, so maybe they'll have to figure that one out a little bit more. But you know, you got squid, and then it turns into like a bigger squid, and then it turns into a kraken or a lizard, into a Komodo dragon, and then a Godzilla. So you kind of get the idea. Like I said, it is still very early. They're obviously still fleshing out ideas, and I have no doubt that they will figure out kind of their own lane and path to go down with these designs, and maybe even with the names, because I don't know how great of an idea it is to just call one of your characters Godzilla or King Kong. But I'm sure they can figure that out when that time comes, because I'm sure it'll be a while. But that basically wraps it up for DeFimons. Like I said, very, very early, but I wanted to just drop this project in your guys' radar. If it piques your interest and you're really, you know, want to check it out, go ahead and hop in the Discord, ask some questions. Everyone's real nice and real polite in there. You might even see me floating around. I try to be pretty active in there because I do want to get whitelisted. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind as well. Anyways, that's going to basically wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you learned something and you enjoyed the project. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think about DeFimons. Also, make sure to subscribe. Like I said, we upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you guys are going to want to miss out on any future projects. That's going to be it from me. I will see you guys Wednesday. Until then, peace.